start this thing out. Me and Torian wanted to first start out talking about how this thing came about. You know what I'm saying? We talk sports all the time, especially on Facebook. You know, people going back and forth debating. You know what I'm saying? So just came up with the idea one time with the whole transfer thing being a big deal in the South Florida area. It kind of just popped. And Torian was like, man, let's make a transfer portal group on Facebook. So we made that. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of people in, a lot of hits overnight. You know, we in there, talking trash, talking boom, 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 boom. Then the whole podcast deal came about. I went live one time on a topic, and it just kind of exploded from there. Torian hit me back like, yo, bro, I think we need to start a podcast, and I think it'll be big. So here we are, man. First episode, we live, and we're looking to do big things with this, man. Not only in the South Florida area, not only in the state of Florida, but we're looking to take this thing nationwide, man. Me personally, my opinion, I think South Florida athletes are the best athletes in the nation. If you look at high school, you look at the college level, what we doing, you look at the amount of kids we putting in the pros. I don't think no area nationwide putting out more quality players in the South Florida area. So we're gonna keep it real on this show, man. We're gonna keep it fun. It's gonna be some trash talking, you know what I'm saying? But all good, clean fun. So welcome, like I said, welcome again to the first Portal Podcast. And we're gonna be bringing in some guests today. We got a 4-star wide receiver, Malachi Toney from American Heritage. We also got Ben Hanks Jr. from Booker T. Washington, 4-star DB. We got Coach Torian Bean, offensive coordinator from Booker T. Washington, and we got Kenny from American Heritage coming in today too. So, and also first-year head coach Michaelee Harris will be here, joining us on the interview. See how things going with the Bulls.
Yeah, I'm Antoine, and sitting on Facebook, talking trash like we always do. And a friend of mine, Kent, said, hey, man, with all this transferring going on, why ain't nobody started a group yet? And within seconds, I started the group. And we are now in 2 months, and we got over 1,500 people in the group, very active, keep you very informative on what's going on, what players going where, what schools, what coaches, what's going down. Like, the group it really have took on a place of its own, and it has grown tremendously. And I mean, all we do is trash talk and give information. I mean, it have gotten so big, the principles in that thing. Like, yeah, like it's like that right now. Like, so we're talking, let's say by Wednesday, I expect it to grow probably by the end of August to probably at least 2,500 because there has been so much trash talk going on, so you can't even struggle these days in the high school football. I mean, from the Central to Chaminade, St. Thomas, Weston, Northern. I mean, Northern, y'all got a target on y'all head. Y'all just doing big things in the Miami Gardens area, and y'all have put together a great team. But the game got to be played. So we looking forward to this season, and it's good to see actually kids going to other schools and not piling up at two schools. Because I can honestly say, looking at high school football these past 2-3 years, it's been like, okay, Central Northwestern playing, it's a blowout. And now you literally got to fight. Like, it's getting back to where it needs to be. So yeah, this is our first episode. We're looking forward to bringing y'all a lot of information, a lot of good content, talking with a lot of different players from a lot of different schools. And we're looking to take this thing to another level. So it'll definitely be some big announcements coming. Like literally next week, I'm gonna be dropping some information. And yeah, we're going to the next level with this thing. Just not any podcast. This the portal, baby.
Let's do it. So without further ado, man, game of the week, kickoff classic start next Friday at Trash Pile, Booker T. Washington versus American Heritage. Like I spoke earlier, we got two top players in the South Florida area, two 4-star guys, a wide receiver, sophomore All-American Malachi Toney, and we have Ben 4-star or DB Ben Hanks Jr. joining us. So we're going to bring these guys in, talk to them a little bit, see where they at, and let y'all see what's happening.
And we also got a couple guests from American Heritage. So we're going to start off with actually American Heritage and their players, and then we'll continue with Booker T. Washington, Ben Hanks Jr., and Torian Bean.
All right, here we go, man. First of all, welcome, fellas. Welcome to the show, man. The first episode of the Portal Podcast, man. We got American Heritage in here. So, our guest today is four-star sophomore All-American wide receiver, Malachi Toney, and his teammates here.
Would y'all like to introduce yourself?
My name is Jamar Denson, class of 2026 receiver.
My name is Dan Noel, class of 2025.
My name is Kimon Morales, class of 2026.
Okay. Go ahead, Malachi.
Oh, my name Malachi Toney, class 2026 wide receiver.
All right, cool. All right, so to start this thing off, just wanted to talk a little bit about Malachi. Good friends with your father, man. Father was a hell of an athlete, man, and Antonio De La Brown. And spoke with him briefly for a little bit, man. Your father was a hell of an athlete, man. I don't know if you ever heard the story of when he actually jumped over the hood of a car. You heard that story?
Yeah, he told me.
And then he jumped, the same night, he jumped over the hood of a Pathfinder. All at 5'7", 5'8", and dunked a 10-foot basketball. So, man, like your father is one of the best athletes I've ever seen. Just a gangster. You know what I mean? So, I just want you to elaborate what it is to walk in those footsteps and try to feel. Is it like pressure walking in those footsteps, trying to live up to the name of your father? Because your father was a hell of a player in high school, college, and he did 4 years in the pros with the Buffalo Bills and the Washington Redskins. How does that feel walking in those shoes?
It feels good, but I don't really too much try to walk in shoes. I try to be my own person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be remembered as De La son. I want to be remembered as Malachi Toney.
Truly. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because at the end of the day, you're going to be your own man. You know what I mean? So I got to respect that decision. So the expectations coming into this season is very high for you guys. I know you guys took a tough defeat in the state game last year, but walking into this season, what is the expectations of yourself and your teammates?
You want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Our expectations is just to compete and be back in the state game. This time we ain't losing.
Gotcha.
What about yourself?
My expectation, we gonna have a good year, go to the state. I won state last year. I wasn't with American Heritage, but we gonna win this year.
You was in Chaminade last year, right? Okay, you Fred boy. Yeah, I'm good friends with your father. Now that 2M a gauntlet now. I know probably on different sides of the region with Central, Northwestern in there. Booker T gonna be tough this year, and you guys. So it's gonna be a gauntlet to get through there, man. So for yourself, Malachi, what personal goals do you have for yourself coming into this season?
1,000+ receiving yards and 12+ touchdowns.
Oh, you lied, boy. You doing any returning?
Yes.
Punt return?
Yeah, punt return and kick return.
Gotcha. One more thing. I know Coach Mike Smith fairly new there with Coach Pat Surtain exiting. How has Coach Mike stepped into that void and still kept you guys playing at a high level?
Before I got there, I really didn't know much of Mike, but when I came, he always worked. We worked. Can you say that question again? I really ain't.
Just how Coach Mike changed the culture. I know there was a lot of expectation when Coach Pat left, and Coach Mike stepping in last year and getting you guys in the title game just came up short a little bit. How has he kept that culture up?
He kept that culture up by. I really don't know how to answer this question.
All right, it's cool. I'm quite sure you look like a.
Because I really didn't know Mike before I got there.
I got you. Okay, so that's fair. So just looking at him, I've seen a few clippings of him. He looked like an energetic coach. You know what I mean? I'm from the things I've seen. He's a hands-on type of coach. So I think when you're that type of coach and you interact with the kids, that really makes the kids want to play harder.
Yeah.
All right. So what's up, teammates? Denson, you coming over from Chaminade,
Yes, sir.
sophomore, electrifying receiver, man. What are some of your expectations for yourself?
Some of my expectations having 800 plus receiving yards, 10 touchdowns, just having a monster season.
Okay, good deal, good deal. What about you, big man?
My goal for me is to get the biggest holes for the running backs and the most time possible for the quarterback, for the Malachi and Denson.
Okay, play role. What about you, big dog?
Be a team player. Go all in.
And you play DN, right?
Yeah,
Outside linebacker. You know how to tackle? You gonna hit somebody?
ain't no question.
Two of them tough now.
At two in McGonley. Okay. So that's pretty much leading up to the game this week. I know there's a lot of anticipation with the kickoff classic going up against Booker T.
Yeah.
A lot of things talked about as well is private schools versus playing public schools. How do you guys get up playing when you know you're finna play a public school, especially a team out the city?
It's really no difference. We just gonna go out there and play our game, play football.
Gotcha. Okay. So next question, last one, and we'll let you guys get out of here. This Friday, what can I expect on that football field from Malachi Toney?
I'm gonna play my game. Just expect for me to be who I am and dominate. Really ain't too much.
Now,
Yeah.
a question for everybody. What one game y'all looking forward to playing?
Everybody got that game. Central. Yeah, Central and Chaminade gonna be some good games. We're gonna see some good games, man. So, best of luck to you guys this season, man. Most importantly, stay healthy, play hard, play smart, play fast. All right, fellas.
Sure. Appreciate it.
that. All right, let's continue. Joining us is Ben Hanks Jr. Welcome. First of all, Ben. Got 4-star DB Ben Hanks Jr. I know your father too, man. Watching him in high school and college, man. Pro ball as well. Good ball player, man. Good dude. Still doing good things in the community. Just talk about what it is to walk in those footsteps when your father has done so many great things.
I mean, feel like walking his footsteps mean a lot to me. You know, he been places I want to be at, so everything I'm trying to climb, she already climbed it, so he already helped me out towards to get to where he at right now.
Okay, and what is your overall expectations for Booker T this year?
My expectation for Booker T, I feel like we've been working hard throughout the season. Last season we fell short, but everything should be right now working with a new defensive coordinator, new defensive scheme, so I feel like everything should be good.
How was it like working with Coach Max?
Coach Matt's an amazing coach, he energetic, funny guy. So everything good. Coach
Okay,
Matt.
and your personal expectations for this year?
My personal, I'll say just trying to be the best I could be on the field. That's really it.
Okay, so Coach Ice is one of the legends down here, man. Coach of football, always been a fan of Coach Ice. What is it like playing for Coach Ice?
Playing for Coach Ice is great. He's a great coach. He did great things in the past when he's at Booker T. So playing with Coach Ice is amazing feeling.
Cool. Okay, everybody, looking forward to this matchup this week. Ben Hanks Jr. versus Malachi Toney.
Dade County legend.
Not only Booker T versus Heritage, they looking forward to this matchup as well. Malachi, when you break that huddle and you line up, what do you see as far as a corner?
What you mean?
Like when you break the huddle, like what's in your head? You saying I'm finna eat this dude alive.
Yeah, I'm finna go dominate. That's really it.
Okay, cool. So Ben, Malachi break that huddle and come jogging your way. What's going through your head?
Just compete. I just know I like myself over anybody in front of me.
Gotcha. So there you have it, man. This Friday.
Game of the week. Portal game of the week. Booker T versus American Heritage. 7 o'clock Friday.
Two of the top players in South Florida, 4-star wide receiver, sophomore All-American Malachi Toney. 4-star wide receiver Ben Hanks Jr. This is going to be a great game and a great matchup. So you guys don't want to miss this. Trash Power Stadium, Friday, 7 or 7:30?
Probably 7.
7:30.
7:30.
Okay. Yes,
Be there,
Friday.
be square, baby. Be there, be square. I want to thank y'all fellas for your time.
Appreciate y'all coming through.
Have a good game, baby. Have a good game, fellas. Here we go. Crank it back up, man. We got next guest
Come over to
in.
me.
The
Oh, that's
the infamous Torian Bean, offensive coordinator for Booker T. Washington. So in the group,
He's a headache.
he a headache. Him, Kenton, Dobson, and then Bean in a close second. But Bean a good dude, man, good competitor, and just looking forward to Booker T. Washington this year. As overall Bean, talk about a little bit what it is to work with Coach Ice and Coach Max, two legends down here.
It's just amazing. I was just like, hold on. We got a special guest, y'all.
Got a special guest.
We
Miss
all the way
Toney
from
in the
American
building.
Heritage Plantation.
She bringing that boy
Community
a broom.
service.
The
Community service is in
disrespect
the
is
building.
real on the portal. She brought that boy a broom on the portal, and it's black and gold. Wow, that's wild right
Hey,
there.
American Heritage got their colors for their stuff.
Yeah.
They
Yo,
brooms.
y'all better not let them people sweep y'all. It's gonna be very embarrassing for the 305. I promise you, man. It's gonna be.
All right, baby. So talk about what it is, man, to work with two legends and Coach Ice. I know you've been working with Coach Ice for a minute, but now you got Max there. Just talk about it a little bit, working with both of those guys.
Man, I just want to give mad props and respect to my mentor, the guy who gave me my start, in 2005. And I came in as a sponge and I never looked back. And I soaked in everything. He just watching me. He was like, he never really said anything or taught. I was just really just there, like being a sponge, asking questions, whatever, And he taught us how to do it the right way. If you look at our coaching tree, like we not only like make sure players advance, but people from our tree has advanced to college, and like just looking at our staff right now, guys that have like degrees or we've coached that came back or still advancing themselves, education wise to make it to the next level, and that's one of the big things that we're big on is development, not only for players but also coaches as well. Like I said, been there since 2005. When I came in, I was coaching with Coach Ice and Coach Max, and just to be reunited again is just one of those things. Like those are two legendary guys, and when you have two legendary guys like that, it's nothing that you think can probably fall short. Like the expectations are high. We've been working hard all summer. We spring and summer, so the expectations are high, and we looking forward to put that product out there for everybody to see.
Good. Kickoff Classic this Friday. American Heritage, tough team, good team, well-coached team. What's the expectations for this Friday going into the game?
The expectations is to see, where you at right now. Competitive-wise, everybody, like, you go into a game, nobody's trying to lose.
Right. Definitely going to be competitive.
Personally, me, I wear PSA, but, PSA don't mean what PSA mean for them.
Right,
PSA
right.
for me is a private school assassin.
Oh,
That's what I'm
I
trying to
like
do.
that, boy. I like that,
That's
boy.
what's
I
up.
like that.
That's
I
what-
like
that's
that.
how-
Private
see what you
school
see.
assassin.
Yeah, make public
Torian B came up with that one.
make public schools great again.
Yes, sir.
Hey, if you want to do it without community service, come on down to 14th Street. Nah,
So,
but
so you mean that broom actually supposed to go with her?
yeah, that's she bought that.
They need a rake.
Hey,
Take
everybody
your own
toss me.
country.
You see how that goes? She carried her duties with her.
Yes.
Miss Toney, thank you for the broom.
Very dedicated parent. Very dedicated parent. Love that. But no, we looking to put our best product out there. We've been working hard, as a staff, defensively, offensively. We want to see what that product is going to look like. Nobody knows. Like I said, we talk all summer, all spring in the portal, but nobody knows until you put that product out there. And then the only thing you got to go on is your recipe of what you've done in the past, and see if that applies to what we got with this product, with this 2023 team.
And I think definitely within the portal, has been so much talk.
A lot of talk.
So much talk to
Lot of
it's to the
talk.
point where you can't even struggle. Like
You
it's
can't
like
make a
certain
mistake,
teams
boy.
literally gotta go out there and just blow out. If it's not a blowout, you're getting dragged in the portal. By the way, if you ain't in the portal, South Florida transfer portal group, you're missing out on a lot of information, a lot of talk, and just fun entertainment. So, with that being said, Bean, how you feel about the portal?
I love the portal, man. This is a historical moment. Hey, I'm the first get back coach to be on a podcast. That's Black history, boss.
That's history.
That's history.
The
Black
portal
history. First get back coach to ever be on the podcast. I haven't been on daily deposits, none of that, because I'm a get back coach.
Yeah.
But I'm on the portal's first podcast.
Episode 1, baby.
Can't tell me nothing.
You know I love you, right?
Y'all know my check gonna be fat. I didn't get nothing off my rider, but that check at the front desk gonna be fat.
So with that being said, right, the name, South Florida Transfer Portal. How do you feel about the portal and the kids and all the back and
That whole
forth,
transfer
kids checking
situation.
in, kids checking out, like it's crazy. You wake up, this kid going here today and then tomorrow somewhere else. How do you feel about that?
It's crazy. Like I say, you have transfers for a reason. You have transfers, for people, coaches leaving. You have transfers for, kids moving. You have transfers for kids not looking to compete.
Such a wide variety.
It's a wide variety, and it's just the culture that we're in right now as far as competitive sports, and it's not just football. It just became football as of late, but if you look at high school basketball, kids have been transferring like crazy.
They go to private schools all
Right,
across the world.
but it's more glaring when you look at football, because when you look at football, when you talk about like Luke was talking last week, I mean, you have college coaches that's tracking the kid. They want to look to see how you're being developed, where you're being developed, how you compete, different things like that. And whether we realize it or not, you could get that jumper tag put on you,
And
where
it's
a
not
coach
good.
don't. It's not good because it follows you. It follows
Yes.
you throughout life.
I agree.
If you
because
do it in the park, you do it in high school.
you're doing it in college.
If I'm a college coach and I'm investing in you, however much money I'm investing in you in recruitment, and then you're gonna be out the next year, that's a loss, bro.
Because college has actually become a business.
Right.
Oh yeah,
It's a loss.
College is definitely a business, but
When they look at the come up of the kid, and they go back, because we know they go back years and years.
I mean, if I was a college coach, I'd be looking for a kid that's stable. Like I'm looking for stability.
And that's
but
very
then
rare these days.
you also have to look and say, okay, yeah, his talent, but then okay, how long you gonna have that talent?
right.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's all things they probably have to weigh at that level. I can't speak on that. I mean, I know from people that that's in my family that coach college. I can only imagine what they go through. So, but that's just my outside looking in,
Correct.
like approach of looking at that.
My thing with the whole transfer deal, back and forth, just me as a like that just ain't me. All that shaking and moving, bro. I'm just like, man, stay there, compete, and I mean, but different strokes for different folks. You understand me, man? But that's just me. Everybody different. You know what I mean? And I get that. You gotta respect that too. But I just ain't with all that shaking and moving. You know what I mean? Kent had a good point. We were talking about the whole transfer deal before, to where you can start just to get, because the whole thing now is, coming off the Park 13U, everybody wants to play varsity now. They rather play 13U than to play JV.
And some actually play both.
Right. Some play both. But we're just saying ideally, they rather come, soon as they come off the Park, they want to jump straight to varsity. So, and Ken had a good point when he said they can go to, a less talent school, get their feet wet, and then move to a Booker T or Northwestern or Central. Now they got that confidence or whatever. But me, bro, I just ain't with I ain't with none of that, bro. Like all that shaking and moving man. Listen here, stay compete, because I look at it too, because I'm an optimistic person, so I look at things from both sides. Even if you transfer, you still got to compete wherever you go.
Facts.
Okay, so then we take it to another level. What are you going to do when you get to college? Because you got to start all over. When you get to college, you're going to be in the back of the line. Shit get hard, shit get tight. Everybody good, but you're going to transfer again. So you're just going to find yourself just jumping and jumping and jumping and jumping. And like I said, everything is not ideal. It's a lot of ways to get through it. When you're talking about something like this, you got to go majority and minority. Yeah, you're going to have some kids skin through on the low end. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But if we talking number-wise, a lot of it don't happen. A lot of it don't happen. You know what I mean?
Everybody look at the Tigers. Everybody look at the Scooters and the little Knicks, because I just know he's going to be great. I love what I seen with that kid coming fresh off the park and what he did in 7-on-7.
But he a rare kid, and you get them rare kids.
That's my point.
He a rare kid,
He's
man.
rare. Everybody's not rare. Everybody can't just
Malachi
jump off
Toney,
that.
he's a rare kid. Like
You don't get that.
Mm-mm.
But everybody think their kid is better than the next. So that's where you have that conflict. And if I come, I say, okay, I'm going to play for Northwest, I'm going to play for Booker T Central. And then the minute you don't start or get the play time that you're looking for, I'm gone. But then you have those kids like Andy Jean, Lil Punch.
Mm-hmm.
These kids stayed 4 years at Northwestern. Didn't see no action until 11th grade. They stayed the course, played, got their scholarships, gone. But it's so much of a, I need to feel right now.
Instant gratification.
Instant gratification.
You know, it ain't.
This is not that.
We really can take the trust the process, take that slogan out to today's world, and sub it with instant gratification.
And that's what it is.
And that's all it is,
And
bro.
nobody want to stay the course.
Nobody.
So when you say reps over rings, I understand it, but then I disagree with it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I understand your kid going to a lesser school, which is very important because a lot of the recruiting becomes 9th, 10th grade. 11th grade, you're really on the edge. 12th grade, if your ass ain't make it, you just ain't make it. And it's like, because they start at 10th, like 9th, 10th grade.
My thing with the reps over rings deal, are the reps quality reps?
And that's the question.
You know what I mean? You can get 50 snaps. How many of those snaps are going to be quality? You know what I mean? I can be out there playing for Westland. No disrespect, Eric Sumler. I can be playing for Westland. The score can be 100-0.
But are there quality?
That's what I'm saying, bro. So it's like, yeah, you on the field, you getting snaps.
Do you want to be in the SWAC or do you want to be in the SSC?
That's
the difference.
Is it effective? Like, you know what I mean? What if I'm out there 50 snaps? 30 of them snaps bad. 35 of them snaps bad.
Right.
And here's the hypocrisy of it. Now, you at a less school, you're getting your head beat in every day, every game, every Friday. Now, you in the stand as a parent saying, fire the coach, we sorry. Man, you chose reps over rings.
And that's the thing.
That's the hypocrisy of it.
But now, when you get over, you say, okay, well, my kid had 10, let's say 5 interceptions over here at Westland. I'm sorry again, Eric.
Some of them kids squeak through.
And like then they get over to, let's say they go to Central, Northwestern, Northern, one of the Power 5 in high school. And then they're not producing as they did on a lower level. So did those reps really count, or did they hurt?
It happens.
How you feel about that, man?
I think it's more so like just been listening to y'all. First thing, just going back when we first started the conversation, I think the greatest decision a parent has to make is where your kid's going to go from 8th grade to 9th grade. It'd probably be best to make a real calculated decision and research the school that he's going to, like from coaching staff, what's their development plan, how do they practice, just free pub. Like, we welcome anybody to come out to Booker T practice and see how we have reps over rings, because everybody gets rep. I used to go to some of my son's Optimist practices, and it was it's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Bored.
They got half the team sitting over here and they just working on this and just working on that. You know, I think we do a good job. You know, when Coach Ice went to the college level and bringing back, you know, a college structured practice. Like things are moving.
On the move. Yeah.
It's a period. People are getting
time.
reps. Like everybody's getting reps. And you know, going back to that, the 1 year I did coach Optimist football, my son was playing 70s and I had the 80s or whatever. I really instilled into the coaches because we got caught one game with the 6 play guys.
Yeah, oh shit.
You gotta get these 6 plays out the way now.
But the thing is though, if you rep those kids, you wouldn't get caught with 6 play guys. So if you're developing everybody, that's an unheard of thing, right? So as a parent, we have to really like go and kind of do your research on who's coaching your kids. Do you have a thug from off the street coaching your kids? Do you have a college educated guy coaching your kids? Do you have a guy that knows what he's talking about, how to develop him to the next level, coaching your kids? As a whole, like the entire staff, you know what I'm saying? Or who's the head coach? Like, is this a narcissist? Is he egotistical? What is it? Or is this a community guy? Does this guy care about your kids? You know, you got to look at all those things of where you know taking your kid, because if not, one of those things are off in that recipe, you're gonna end up transferring your kid, right? Okay, your kid not gonna be happy, whatever. And it's not gonna have anything to do with playing time. Second thing, we living in a title generation.
Very entitled. Very.
We got parents that want to get their kids everything. We want kids that want everything. Yeah. But this is a team sport. It is one ball. You know what I'm saying? There's other sports that have one ball, like tennis, and they also got one person on the field too, right?
Black people ain't playing that.
No. It's a team sport. Like, and then what parents don't realize is that it's very unrealistic because they want their kid to always get the ball, or you know, things like that. But that's not instant gratification, and everybody's doing it for the gram. They want to have something to post and say, hey, my kid did this or whatever. It's not about, oh, you ever seen a parent say, my kid made this fantastic block that sprung this guy to make a touchdown?
That would never happen.
Right. But as a coach, that's what we need to be successful.
Right.
But so you got things like that that's unrealistic, and those things when you start doing jumping around, like, okay, no matter what team you jump around to, it's still gonna be one person, like you say, it'll be a Malachi, or it'll be like a Ben, or it'll be somebody's gonna be cream of the crop.
Yes.
All right. And then you have team players, and then whatever. The teams that adapt to that well, those are championship teams.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Facts. Or you can have a Chaminade. But even at Chaminade, it's still one ball.
One ball.
Is it not? It's still one ball.
Still
JoJo
one
can only catch so many balls. JJ can only catch so many balls.
So many kids.
I mean, so many times you can watch Chaminade game. He's like, JJ ain't catch a ball yet. You're right, but they up 56 points though. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things. Like, no matter what team you're on, everybody's not going to get the ball. You know, it's just one of those things. It's like, and then we have to be realistic as parents. And I think because of the society we live in, it's almost impossible for them to be realistic because everybody want to live for the gram.
Yes, and that's another problem, because as I look at it, parents would rather brag and say, hey, we won the championship, but they don't realize, hey, your kid ain't play. But you able to say, I got rings, I got photos. So it goes both ways. It's just,
it does.
And then what I don't like as really being into it and actually seeing it over the last 3-4 years is the parents saying, oh, my child wanted to make this decision. What happened? We the grown-ups. We know what's best. Your child might not see it. And that's where I have a problem. Because at the end of the day, your child see one thing. You don't look at the bigger picture. And what they really better realize, definitely in this football game, is it's a business now. It's no longer, hey, you want to get to college? Where you want to go? Honestly, where you want to go? Johnson and Wells? That's okay. If you just want to sit on the bench, you got the size, you want to go to Johnson and Wells. But if you try to get to a Power 5, and if you do the numbers on Power 5, and how many kids actually went Power 5 over the last couple of years, you'd be like, God damn, that's it?
Right.
And then with the transfer portal being so important in college football, why would I go get a high school kid that's not in the top 300 ESPN, then go to get a kid that was in the top 300, but don't been in college for a year or two. Bring them on my squad and get instant play. So it's like the parents got to do better with that because they can look and they know best for the kids, but the kid don't know best. Oh, I want to stay. I like my teammates. Oh, I like this. I like that. Bruh, you want to go to college or you don't. And that's where my problem come in. Parents literally got to take it out the kid's hands and put their kid in a better situation. I don't have no problem with transferring as long as you're doing what's best for the kid. But don't sit here and tell me it's best for the kid when he's riding the bench and not getting appropriate reps that he needs to go to the next level. Because that's when the problem come in. Oh, my kid got, like Kent said the other day, let's get the numbers on how many kids actually went to a good college versus those that just went to, I don't even want to say the name because I don't want to disrespect no one or the program. But how many of them actually went to a good college and really got a good chance at going to college? At going to the NFL versus if I would have went to this school, got all the reps, been the main guy, got seen, got numbers, and went to a better college, but you chose to stay. That's my problem.
I think it's a little bit of sheer luck too, though. Like everything is not gonna be ideal. Everything ain't gonna be right. You know what I mean? Like I say, when you're talking about situations and topics like this, you got to do numbers. Of course, on the low end, it's gonna be some kids squeak through. It's just what it is. They just that that good enough. And then, you got the kids at the winning programs to where they get more exposure.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Just like the other day, you know what I mean? A Larry Bluestein gonna come to Booker T. He gonna come to Northwestern. He gonna come to Central. Larry Bluestein not finna waste his time driving the West Lane. You understand me?
Believe it
He
or
not
not.
finna waste his time.
Actually, that's a bad
I speak
example.
on Larry Blue.
Larry go
Blue
everywhere.
cover everybody?
Larry cover
Everywhere.
My bad, Blue. I apologize.
Don't ever say that about
No.
Blue.
Blue go everywhere?
Blue go
I just
everywhere.
said in media day with
Blue
Blue.
care about all the kids.
I
bro.
just said in media day.
Well, let me back that up.
Hold on.
Not
I
Blue.
just said.
What about Hotbed?
No.
Hotbed not traveling a lot because they got a lot of things going on.
My boy
He in
Brandon.
Arizona,
Yeah,
Brandon,
yeah.
Brandon everywhere, right?
Yeah.
But for Larry Blue, I can speak on Larry Blue. I sat in media day with him for 4 hours. There's not a team that came up that he did not know nothing about.
No, everybody, bro.
How about Blue to go?
I looked at.
I apologize, Blue. My bad, baby. Sorry.
I looked at a podcast he sent me, right? And I heard him say, "Hey, he's talking to the guy. He say, I was doing this when I had a book bag full of quarters on the payphone, making phone calls to all these teams.
Damn.
That's how long Larry been doing this.
Larry been.
That is
I was
the
in school.
GOAT
Larry been on the
of
side.
high school football.
Right.
Don't ever discredit Larry.
Very
My
passionate
bad.
about
My
what he
bad.
Please
Larry
apologize.
Bluestein.
Larry
I
Blue, you
apologize,
my guy.
Bluestein.
I look forward to working with you in the future, sir. But I'm not gonna let Luke Liv handle you like that.
Let's back something up for it. Like,
Back it
real
up,
quick,
Coach.
real quick. Just a little comedy break.
Let's go. Oh gosh, here
So
we
you
go.
just let Kent go out the back door like that?
How he go out the back door?
Well, he was just banging Vikings.
He's still Viking.
Nah, he not the
Y'all
flawed
went for
guy.
that. See,
Not the
you
flawed
on
guy.
live, and you went for the banana in the
Hey
tailpipe.
man,
Yeah,
I
that's
see
the
what y'all
flawed.
post.
Bruh, you went for the banana in the tailbite, and I
Hey,
told
man.
you that on live. I mean on
Man,
Facebook.
you Photoshop the kid and everything.
I did Photoshop him. I Photoshopped the kid that actually left.
Boy, they jumped all over that pool.
My
They
bad.
jumped up. Oh, Cleveland Gray, the third left. His daddy ready to get on live right now and clear it up and tell you what was the problem at Norley and why he left. He's ready to get on live right now if I chose to. But Kent ain't going nowhere right now.
Nah, I can't stand.
He's staying. That was just an old
That wouldn't have made no sense.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
at all.
So this season let's get back on track of the season. Give me some games you looking forward to, B.
Just out the gate, out the gate, that Northwestern Chaminade game. We're gonna see like
That's gonna be some good
some
games.
good games. We
It's
got some good
definitely
games
good
the first week, and it's like and you looking to see the first day like when football is back. It's like everybody want to see where the team's at.
Right.
What have you been doing all summer?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Measuring stick.
What smoke you been? It's a measuring stick. So from Wednesday, even with the Edison Miramar,
I'll be there live.
you want to watch football.
That's
you just
it.
want to go see some football, some good football or whatever. Just see where the teams are at. You want to see who's doing what, whatever. You know, that Chaminade Northwestern game is going to be a big measuring stick to see where Northwestern is and see how good or how good Chaminade is. Like, you know what I mean? Because right now they're a juggernaut team.
Yes.
Right.
They was a juggernaut team last year. They beat a team like 80, 90 points, and then
It was crazy.
you went to Bishop Gorman, and we made all the jokes or whatever. But it happens.
Yeah.
Like, and I going back to that. It was just like I tell anybody, like, we went to Bishop Gorman, and we limped back. We won, but we limped back. And the very next week, guess who we had? Northwestern.
And what happened?
We won, but I'm saying is we limped back though.
Yeah, y'all were hurt.
Like those teams out there, they're totally different. Like we have our Dade County football,
And they have their
they
West
got
Coast.
their resources in coaching football, and then, like it's different. Like
Could you imagine if we had those resources that the Texas
Imagine,
and
like,
California
right,
had?
exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my
So-
gosh, you talking about coaches making $200,000. Our
Right.
coaches limp out there for
Facts.
$2,500. Like that's a disrespect.
facts. Like there ain't no secret. Like don't think any team from Dade County is just gonna go out there and just like no, it don't work like that. All that Dade County versus everybody. Yeah, okay.
And that's what I've been
So
trying
if
to
that's the case,
understand.
let's send Sunset out there and play Bishop.
No.
Gorman. See what happened to him. All right.
Not happening.
Like at the end of the day, you're gonna have to have a coaching staff that know what they're doing, know how to prepare for that, know what you're dealing with,
Yes.
and be able to compete with those teams out there because they're different. Like they're not the same. Like
We literally got to have a stacked team. So when Northwestern and Booker T actually won nationals, I ain't gonna even disrespect Central like that. They won nationals.
That's an asterisk, bro.
That's the asterisk.
And that's
But
another
that's
another
top-
conversation.
That's another conversation.
We
But
gotta have.
so
And
let's
I
say-
want to have it.
But you gotta have Central here.
That's what I'm.
You
I
can't
just
have
about-
it without
exactly.
it.
That-
And
just what I'm
how
about to say.
How I honestly feel. What Central did was special. They ran the table. They actually beat IMG.
Gotta give them
No
that props. Gotta
no
respect
Dade
that.
County team did that.
Gotta
So
respect
I
that.
gotta respect that.
True.
I watched them. I watched them limp into it with lights out being heard. You know what I'm saying? I watched all that. So one thing I never do is discredit a team. I talk all the mess. Like
Right.
I talk
Yeah,
all
true.
the mess to them, but they did that. They
won.
went undefeated. You know what I'm saying? But I don't.
what it
it's,
is.
it's like we got to get the publications situation right.
It's just one of them situations.
It's a UCF.
It's a
UCF
UCF.
situation.
It's a Lakers in the bubble.
Right.
It's a out of what 6 or 7 publications. They only got one vote.
publication.
And the one publication said they was
Moscow.
national.
Right.
Now the hypocrisy, here you go again. That same publication coming back this year.
Got them ranked 6. In
Max
my fifth.
Preps got them 4th.
4th, right.
Now who they gonna take?
They gonna ride with Max.
What publication
So
we going off this
so
year?
you can't juggle and say, hey,
Hey,
because
listen,
this
that's
one
why-
got me higher, I'm gonna go with them, but that one got me lower.
hey, them people made new rules. You know how they say new rules.
They set the bar.
Self-proclaimed.
Hey,
New
the bar
rules.
can't move.
I
cannot-
love it. I love it. New
The
rules,
bar
right?
can't move according.
No, they made a new rule. So new rules. I'm a back-to-back national champion now.
Well, I'm a back-to-back because Northwestern national champion every year.
I'm a back. So 2013, 2014, we went to table. So I'm a back-to-back national champion according to the new rules because we had 3 polls that listed us with, but it wasn't the polls that we wanted. So
Yeah.
So 2013 and 14.
Yeah, y'all national champion. But honestly, like I say, I'm gonna give him their credit.
Gotta give him credit.
One thing about Jude, I love the guy. He
That's my
coached.
guy.
He taught that good stuff to
my
the
guy.
kids, man, and he built them up. There's not many teams, honestly, that could come back 21-7 versus Northwestern and win the game.
True.
I was out of town. I wasn't even at the game. And I looked at the score. I said, we ain't, Northwestern not safe. Because I watch these people every week. And I see how great they can be. So it's like, you watching them and you like, because one play go wrong. Them people is in the building.
No, I was just like,
Like,
they gotta
Don't
give
let
Drew-
them get to the second half.
You
They
gotta
get to
give-
the second half and make them adjustments. Oh, yeah, it's a wrap.
Nah,
It's
you-
either you going to put them in the chokehold
Nah.
or you not.
You gotta give Jude his flowers, bro. Like
better.
I got, you know what I'm saying. Like you seeing the national championship team, y'all had the opportunity to see that up close and personal. I had an opportunity to see that up close and personal. And then just watching Jude, you know, and then I think Jude really got his respect. And I don't give him his flowers because that's my guy. But outside of that, like at this past Nike coaching clinic, and I employ anybody to go and watch that because it's published. It's a link. I'll put it in the portal. But you got to understand the culture that it takes to have a championship team.
It takes a lot.
And when you have a younger guy that's coming up and that could actually employ that type of culture to where you can mold these young guys in this generation that we're dealing with to be able to have that championship standard, you got to give him his credit, man.
And then the key thing about that situation, as I look at it, like everybody say, "Oh, Twan, you know at Western, you biased." No. When we ain't got it, I let y'all know I'm gonna go on the book. Boy, we ain't got it. Where the cornerbacks at? We need quarterbacks, we need linebackers, we need all that, right? That's what I'm gonna do. But I talk so much Northwestern, so people just think I'm just so biased. I'm not. I'm always 100% going to tell you the truth and what I see and what I think is going. Now here you go.
Here we go.
But
this man called me the other night. This man. So I made a post, and the first thing on my post is, you see the first sentence of my post. I don't understand how the news in the football streets travel faster than the speed of light. But certain people don't post that speed of light when it comes to them. So this man come, oh man, I'm the Port of Prayers. I'm media now, bro. What? You're the biggest bull.
and that's what y'all have a problem with, separating the two.
How do you separate?
Because I can't
You have
be
an
that.
identity crisis, bro.
I'm two people now.
I don't care what.
A house
Let me tell
divided
you
in my
something.
head.
You see how this man was at the Bulls picnic at 6:30.
I was on the phone with him at 6:45.
Listen,
I had to be the
I
media
don't
day
care
because
what
he
media
didn't
y'all
get
on.
there.
You ain't taking that blue and gold out y'all blood. You already know how that is.
Nah, true.
Come on, stop playing.
You can't take it out, but
That's
at
true.
The same
You just
time,
gotta.
All right. We put
You
it
can
like this.
temper it a little bit.
Right.
That's it.
All right, but you gotta look at it. Every video you look at, like somebody. Okay. Exactly.
Nah, you like I'm diehard Northwestern, but you just when you're talking football, bro, you just gotta be straight up
Facts.
and just honest with
Right.
people.
That's
Like
it.
like say this week. We got Chaminade. We know Chaminade better than them. But guess what?
My guy.
But guess what?
There you go.
Bitch, we going with the motherfucking M&W Bulls.
Got that?
Shit.
That don't change nothing.
Ain't gonna change
But
exactly.
I'm media.
That's
Hey,
what I'm saying.
All right, in the middle of this
Bullshit,
situation,
man.
right? Here go my guy, Miami Northwestern, brand new head coach, the leader of the new school, Michaelee, baby.
Hold on. Let me wrap this up real quick. Hey, cause I'm gonna tell y'all, Michaelee can talk. So I'm gonna wrap myself up real quick, right? I'm gonna just give me I want to give a little shout out before Michaelee starts. Give a little shout out to my staff. I'm gonna give a shout out to my staff. You know what I'm saying? Everybody asks, you know, Luke, he actually introduced me as offensive coordinator at Booker T. Washington. So I want to like put it out there because you know I'm really the get back coach. All right, so I want to give a shout out to my staff because I can't do it without them.
Facts.
My real title at Booker T. Washington, I'm a co-offensive coordinator, run game coordinator, director of football operations. All right, y'all already know we got the GOAT, Tim Ice Harris. He's
Always
the master of our, you know, on our offensive side. My right hand man, Devon Johnson, you know, former University of Miami Hurricane. He's our other co-offensive coordinator, passing game coordinator. And one thing we had a luxury of, everybody on my staff, either I coached them or they played for a state championship. So when you want to talk about a nucleus of great coaching and that knows our system in and out, that's what we have right now, starting from our quarterback coach, Macho Arza, the catch. You know, from 2019, without him, we wouldn't have that state championship.
Right.
Yeah.
Our offensive line coach, the legendary Chantel Crummy. Our wide receivers coach, Theodore Richardson, my nephew, T3.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, he also FIU Panther, you know,
Graduate.
from the 2019 state championship team. Our running backs coach, Mr. Eduardo Clements himself, you already know,
Eduardo.
one of the legendary running backs from down here, University of Miami Hurricane.
That's my guy right there.
Yeah,
He
and
still owe me.
Shout out to OT.
yeah, that's what's up. And then we also have Armando with our offensive line. He played on our 1997 state championship team. No, sorry, 2007. I graduated in 1997.
Y'all got a lot of championships in a little bit of time.
We do. And that's
International.
How many y'all got,
real
man?
one.
we got 6.
Yeah.
We got
6
6. So
state
between
and what, 2 nationals?
between 2001, 2002, and 2023, we have 6 state championships, 1 national championship.
And one thing
So
I
that's
like
a short
about
period of time.
one thing I like about Booker T, they always bring their people back.
Facts.
Them arms open for Booker T. It ain't no question. You want to come back, you come back.
Facts.
And y'all allow them to come back and be great and teach the younger generation.
Right. And also, you just giving a shout out on the other side of the ball, our defensive staff. You know, we have Coach Max Elvis that's holding things down over there, and he has a illustrious staff as well. So, you know, just looking to do some good things, and hopefully we can stay in the game with Miami Northwestern and shit.
There you go with the Buzz.
We're going to introduce Michaelee.
First year head coach in the building, man. My dog, my main man.
I'm just blessed because I'm
Michaelee.
around veterans. It's a veteran. You know?
Harris.
He was coaching when you was in the game.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, Lord.
Big facts.
Big facts.
Yeah, big
My
facts.
dog Mike in here, man. Just a little bit, man. Little story, not really a story. I remember in 2019 when Mike got the Max called me about Mike getting a wide receiver job.
You was the OC at the time, right?
Not at the
Not
time.
yet.
Not at the time. It was Coach Cordona.
Mm-hmm.
We was early. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, bring Mike, boom, we get Mike.
Boys went off.
What I liked about Mike, I thought I was a very detailed, neat person. This dude here is detailed.
Facts.
Down to the T. When that boy say, I want you to hit that cone, man, hit that cone.
And if
You know what I'm saying?
then what?
Well, yeah, going back. You know what I mean? And also what I liked about him too,
Perfectionist, bro.
right, perfections. We was loaded at wide receiver, bro, from Romello to Marcus Fleming. He coached Fleming and Romello so hard. You know what I mean? All the way down to the guys that was in the back. And that was good because it showed no favorite. I mean, coached them hard. To where Fleming used to come to me, man, Coach Luke, man, hey, Coach Mike tripping. Nah, he ain't tripping.
I can imagine what he's doing now.
He coaching you. And I just, once we had a little hiccup, probably like week 3, we got that fixed. I came to Mike, like, man, me and you gonna do we gonna be the offensive, we gonna do the offensive passing plays, and we gonna let Kerry and Snelling do the run game.
Mm-hmm.
And man, we came together, man, and we had so much fun, dog, just coming in and week out, drawing up plays, trying to get points on the board and win that game, man. So fast forward now, my boy done got the head coaching job. Man. Talk to him about them Bulls, man. What we gonna do to him this year, man?
What you bringing to the table, Michaelee?
So, I'm a younger guy,
Yes.
and I know the first thing we think about as younger guys is, leaving out the discipline part.
Bingo.
So I do my best to make sure that's number one. Understanding the discipline. And my whole thing is making sure the next generation can go further than at least my generation. Yes. When I look into my generation, I see a lot of guys, like OT, really great running back from out of my graduating class. I think a lot of us were blessed to come back to these shoes to get these guys to go further than where we went. Because if you'd have never been able to tell me OT wouldn't have been an NFL running back, just like you probably wouldn't be able to tell him I wouldn't have been an NFL wide receiver. But I know amongst the route, the journey, the path, we all in all have not always made the best decisions. We have not been as disciplined and as consistent as it takes to get to that professional level. And I know this new generation, it's a lot out there that distracts them and makes them entitled. We call them a softer generation. It's a lot of rules put in place. It's a lot of different things in parenting. It's a lot of subjective atmosphere out there that keep them from, naturally going through what we went through. So the first thing I want for my guys is discipline. Mm-hmm. Discipline. And I speak about it a lot that, you know, I did have the opportunity to coach in college for a few years, and a lot of us come from Miami-Dade County, and all we have is talent.
Right.
You know, all we have is
Very
talent. And you get into some of those arguments, you know, with the guys from Cali. They talk about how they beat up on us. My senior year,
Polly and all.
yeah, Cal Poly beat up on us, and you know,
I don't think they
We
threw the
just
ball
talked about
maybe
that
2
before
or
you
3
came in.
times. Like they literally just hand the ball off 5 yards, 10 yards.
they had like 3 running backs that was 6'6", 230 or something crazy like that. But
crazy.
they talk about their schemes and how they knew different coverages and how they knew different run schemes and gap schemes and zone schemes, and we was very basic, you know. And I speak about the red shirt dilemma a lot, about how often we get to the next level when we red shirt early,
Yes.
you know, because everybody's good.
Right.
So are you capable of identifying the coverage? You know, you can take a pre-snap read. How good are you on the post-snap? And I think that's, for me, that's really what my goal is. Like, win, lose, or draw. You know, as a Bull, we don't want to lose. We don't expect to lose. I know, you know, how tough and demanding my community is. But
She already know.
That's
but
first
for
and
me,
foremost.
first and foremost,
Boy, them
you know,
people ain't playing on that.
I know what I signed up for. But I sleep at night knowing
I hope
that
so.
How do you sleep at night?
I sleep at night knowing that. And shout out to Josh and Jeremy. I grew up running track at Metro Day with them, but I sleep at night knowing that I have real estate investors come talk to my team and teach them how to make money outside of school, you know, make money outside of drugs, you know, and be successful in life outside of sports. So I sleep at night knowing that even if it don't show today, I've given them knowledge outside of football,
Yes.
you know, and I know within the process of that, we're going to be okay with football. So I sleep at night knowing that, you know, and I'm hard on them with the discipline. And being young and enthused, I just ask the team to match my intensity every day.
And they love it because Pete though, like, yo, I love it. Like, Michaelee this, Michaelee that. And honestly, I was the first to say, what, Michaelee? I wanted to go get Gibb. I wanted to go get Telly Lockett. I wanted to go get somebody.
I'm glad you
Because
won it.
I was looking for a resume,
Right.
right? I was looking for a resume. I was looking for greatness off the rip. So they saying Michaelee. I'm like, Michaelee? I ain't a coach last year. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm looking at it. But when you got the job, I bought into it. And like I tell everybody, I'm with Michaelee. That's my guy. And when I listen to these kids and I talk to these different kids and they like, shoot, I like what Michaelee doing. Guess what? I love it. You a Bull. When you got in charge, guess what? I'm 100% behind you. What I say, hey, coach, I want to do something for the kids. I showed up. I did what I had to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% behind you. You ain't never got to worry about that.
And that's, you know, if you, people who know me personally know that I'm a natural educator.
Yes. And that's what I'm hearing.
Like I communicate. I just was blessed with the ability to articulate. And it's if you people around my son, you know my son is the same way. It's just something, you know, we all have different attributes in our bloodline that we're good at.
Yes.
You know, I'm good at articulating. So when it's time to break down the play, I understand that if I expect them to get this right now, I'm saying I'm a perfect teacher. I don't think I'm a perfect teacher. And that was something that I learned in college. Like, if I don't curve the grades, I'm telling you I taught this lesson perfectly. I'm telling you everybody understood this lesson perfectly.
Yeah.
So everybody should get 100% on this test, but that's not true.
Right.
You know, little Johnny may understand it different from little Ray Ray.
But you gotta reach it.
But you
gotta
gotta
reach
reach
Gotta
them.
find a way to
And you're
reach
doing a great job at
You gotta
that.
reach them. So for little Johnny, I may have you have to use a different verbiage. You know, for little Ray Ray, I might have to put my cleats on.
Right.
You know, so for me is, I know everybody question, you know, me being young and not having the resume of people like Bean. Like 6 rings, that's big.
Big.
That's big. You know, not having that type of resume. But I do believe in my teaching and the knowledge I've been blessed to get from people that I was around.
Yes.
You know, I've had the the great experience of being around Lovie Smith. You know, I was on the first University of Miami team to defend the ACC title. We won the Coastal in 2017. You know, University of Miami has never done that since they've been in the ACC.
It's been over since then.
So I was on that coaching staff, and what I learned from Mark Richt, John Richt, Thomas Brown, who's with Carolina Panthers, you know, what I learned from Manny Diaz, what I learned from Ron Dugans, and the backroom guys, David Cooney, you know,
My guy.
Danny, you know, with special teams, Todd Hartley up at University of Georgia now. I learned some things that, for me, is deeper than doing this for 20 years. You know, it's people in the game who's done this longer than I've been in the game, and they don't know some of the things I've been taught just because they haven't been the places I've been.
True.
You know, so I play off of what I've learned, who I've been around, and just not being in the atmosphere of being a Northwestern Bull, because it's no different from when we played.
Nah, ain't no different.
It's no different from when we played, right?
The time that changed.
You're just the coach
pride,
now.
right.
They cussed me out when I wore number 2. Right?
And you know what makes the difference, though? People really don't understand the pressure that come with being Northwestern Bull.
Two of the hardest jobs in America.
Notre Dame
Being a black man
and being a Northwestern head coach.
and coaching at Northwestern. Now, you ain't gotta be the head coach. You can be assistant. You can be a coordinator. The offensive coordinator job, boy, at Northwestern. Your job is week to week, man.
Week to week.
Hey, look,
Week to week.
Week
I'm
to
lying, Mike.
Listen,
Boy, week to week, boy.
Look, I remember you went up to what it was in Georgia.
Lying.
I promise you were ready to hang you.
Boy,
All of
you
us.
ain't gotta tell me.
Hey,
Yeah, y'all my homeboy.
And we your homeboy.
You ain't gotta tell me.
We was ready to put you in a chokehold and everything.
Oh,
But
that was
see-
my first week.
but you know what else help us sleep at night? It's a lot of things that go on, and I believe Bean and every other coach, in just general, from Little League to NFL, it's a lot of things that go on the inside that the outside just don't know.
Not at all.
So
We
it's
wouldn't
like,
be able to even we wouldn't as men let y'all in on that type of stuff.
right.
Right, it's just that
I'ma
coach
get
is
in,
still
though.
in there.
So you just take it on the chin, like, you know. So that's another reason why I'm able to sleep at night. Like, if you knew the type of struggles some of these children have, if you knew the type of struggles,
That's deep.
if you knew, you know, what their home situations were, if you knew their backgrounds, you'll understand why they show up on Friday night and not make the play we expect them to play, make you know. And a lot of us are men. We're grown men. We're grown women. We're in the stands. You know, we make good salaries. We can take care of our household. We can take care of our homes. We can take care of our bills. And we fussing out teenagers who don't have nowhere to sleep.
Nowhere to eat.
You know, so I be okay, because I'm like, win, lose, or draw.
I'm going home and sleep.
You know, it's some, you know, right. You know, even when you look at some of the NFL players, they interviews, they'll tell you, or NBA players, they'll tell you, you know, I'm playing a game.
Yeah.
Next Tuesday, I pick up 300,000.
Bingo.
So yeah, I dropped that ball and messed up your bookie ticket.
Yeah,
but
that happens a lot.
but it's a game for me that I get paid for. It's somebody out there who don't know how they gonna pay their next light bill.
Right.
Facts, for real.
You see, so for me, it's literally, and I know people think that I just say this, you know, to get in front of the camera and say that, but it's literally about taking teenagers, turning them into young men, and preparing them for manhood. Because ultimately, I'm a black man. You know, I don't know how this, if I get pulled over, I don't know how this gonna go. You know, if I got to go into a job interview with people who don't look like me, I don't know how this gonna go. You know, we all fighting the dilemma. I know I'm a statistic baby that grew up without his father. You know, so we fighting against things that if you on the other side of the tracks, you're not fighting against. So for me, it's, bro, you guys are going to be disciplined, whether you could catch or not, because we're going to get good black men back in our communities. We're going to get our black women to trust us again. You know, we're going to get our homeboys and our friends to build good friendships and relationships and trust us again. You see what I'm saying? We're going to, if we're going to start with this class and this generation, so be it. But somehow, for me, I do want to change the narrative. You know, like when I was growing up, we had a problem. If we had to fight it out, we fought it out. You know, as we got older, that turned into guns.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Don't nobody fight. You know, you can't put nobody child in detention. Like it's a whole different world out there.
In time, with time, everything changes.
Correct.
So, with that question being said, and not to cut you off, what make you a great coach? What make you a great coach? What make you the leader of the new school, as I quoted you?
What make me the leader of the new school? No, honestly, I'm gonna tell you what I believe make me the leader of the new school. I think it's not a lot of people in my era, in my generation, who can get on the board and talk with people like Bean. It's not people in my era, my generation, who could, and Max would tell you, I could get on the board and talk to him. You know, I could get on the board, and I believe I could get on the board and talk with any of the greats right now. And I think that's what makes me the leader of the new school, because I'm capable of not just pass game. I played receiver.
Right, we know that. You was great at it.
But I could draw you up some really good run schemes.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I know how to attack the wide 9. I know how to attack an aggressive 3-tech. You know, I know how to manipulate a 22. You know, I know how to manipulate if you want to line up in the 4-4. You know, I know how to run power football. You know, and I think that's what made me the leader of the new school, because a lot of people who's in my era, and no knock on those guys, because as the leader of the new school, like I tell those guys all the time, you know, matter of fact, shout out to Tommy Schuler over at Central, to my guy.
Things. My guy right there. We talk mad trash, but Tommy, I got love for you, baby.
But what I think,
Raglass shoe.
but I think that's what make me the leader of the new school, is that I'm capable of holding it down as if I've been here long enough. And for the guys like Tommy Schuler, for the guys like AJ Leggett, you know,
Great.
If I fail, they not gonna get a chance on this level, you know, and not, you know, God forbid. But if I fail, we fail, because they gonna say, why would I give this guy a chance? They gave Michaelee a chance over there. He ain't know what to do with it.
You running with it?
So I'm doing it for the young guys. I'm doing it for the new school. You know, and as I say, we the new unks. Like they gonna beam them, only gonna be here for so much longer. You see what I'm saying? And they've been around to see parents like my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mama probably never came to practice when I was at the West. Never.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Unless they called her and I was hurt or something. But at the gate, talking about why he not getting the ball, and it's just
Crazy,
it's just
crew,
different.
How you deal with the gate crew?
The gate crew know I'm just as crazy as them. I'm just as crazy.
You know that great crew. You know that gate crew. I mean, them people. I mean, I don't have much time to be really beat down there, but that gate crew really.
Nah, but we love the great crew. Like Northwestern is not Northwestern without the gate crew.
Well,
Because I welcome them, because and when I went to a coaches convention when I was coaching in college, and I heard Nick Saban say, you know, everybody opinions matter. Like the janitor walked in, and this is what he was telling us. The janitor walked in and gave him an opinion, and it was valid.
Yeah.
So the gate crew telling you, boss, you know,
People don't understand the gate crew.
like they matter. Like I'll stop. You know, I'll stop. You know, I don't know if you've been to practice, but I'll stop and listen for a few seconds. Like, okay, yeah, that do make sense. And I'll tell you, no, that don't make sense.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that. No, we're not.
Yeah.
Right.
But if it makes sense,
But if it
you're
makes
willing.
sense.
Makes sense.
Because everybody
The
the gate crew. So at Northwestern, right? And I think Patty put up the gate.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
around Patty.
Yeah, I think Patty put up the gate. So
Patty Smith, shout out to Patty Smith.
So if you at one of the schools like Central and Booker T, I can't, you know, speak for everybody. I'm pretty sure Carol City was the same, you know, back when Walt Frazier was the coach. But our practice looked like games. So the fans, the community would be on the field during practice. So Patty got a gate put up
All around the field.
around the field to keep those guys from coming on practice field, telling them who should get in,
Right.
what players should be being called. But that don't stop them. Now they own the gate.
Now they just stand at the gate.
Now they stand at the
The
gate.
furthest we can come. Hey, yo, what
Man,
that
run-
Poncho should be in.
Nigga told me run a 22 lead one time. 22 lead out of spread, man.
I would add, the gate crew don't only stand at the gate; they be at other people's gates.
Yeah, we everywhere.
I go to my practice. The gate crew for Northwestern is standing in our practice, looking at who y'all got on the field.
Yeah, we want to know.
So,
Hey, but they players
very
though.
Invasive. They very invasive. The
But
gate
they
crew.
players though, because the gate crew gonna tell you everything except what they doing.
Yeah, true.
No, for real.
Facts.
Like the gate crew, they'll be at our gate. They'll be at Central Gate. You know, they'll be at Booker T Gate. But you don't know what plays they running. You don't know, so they literally there to talk because it's like the barbershop. The
Yeah.
gate is the barbershop.
Literally.
Yeah.
So,
I like
but I
the
think
gate
that's
crew.
what make me a good coach. What make you a great coach?
Just before I get into that, I just definitely want to give y'all boys a shout out, man. Like I told you at 2-2, like the leaders of the new school, like we're fading out, and I like we had the same conversation when they brought us in for FYFL.
Oh yeah, the cherry.
To speak to them, and I was telling the younger guys like we're out of here. And whether we do
coming up
retirement
to the
or moving
granddaddies.
up or whatever,
Right,
but
right.
y'all are the new school. So what are y'all going to be bringing to replace us to keep this going as strong as it is? You know what I'm saying? So definitely giving a shout out to you, Shula, the new guys coming up. Jude
Regular.
Jude is young.
guy.
Shout out to
You know
Jude.
I'm sorry for him to
So-
be so young, that man.
So, I want to give a
He
shout out
had
to
me
y'all
ready.
because I see y'all doing it and y'all doing it the right way.
Yeah.
When I came in, I was taught to do it the right way. I was a hothead, whatever, but I had guys, like I said, Ice and Max, to actually mold me, and they didn't hesitate. They shut your mouth, sit in the back room, don't talk, whatever, all that stuff. But it made you a better person. It taught you what not to do, what to do, what not, and things like that. I think what makes me a great coach at this point is my wisdom. First of all, just being around, being through the game, being through the ropes for 19 years, seeing things like that. Like I say, I've been coaching, like he was there, like I coached against him, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy, bro. Like, but you sit and you look, and I take that as a blessing because I've coached I coached against so many people, coached so many people, you know what I'm saying? And the wisdom, and I think my greatest attribute, like he said, I'm a teacher.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not an offensive coordinator or, I teach football. Like I take people that don't know our system and I teach them, and then just to sit back and see them with the signal and they running and doing it, that's amazing to me.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So when you able to teach somebody something and teach them the why or why they're doing it,
The why.
because kids nowadays you have to teach them the why. You
If they
can't just
don't
say,
know the why,
"Hey,
they
do
don't
this."
get it.
Yeah, they
Make
robots.
sure they know. Make sure they know why they're doing it.
Yeah.
So that way they know. Oh, nah, this makes sense. All right.
Right.
So, but I think my greatest attribute is teaching. Outside of just coaching, I got so many other intrinsic qualities that I bring to the table at Booker T. I can't even get into all that, but I take great pride in having kept Booker T on the cutting edge of anything that you can think of. We probably was one of the first high school teams down here with social media, way back when.
I'm happy he implemented that too.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we like instilled or implemented at Booker T, technology wise, or things that's cutting edge that I was able to actually make an impact on because that's just something that's in me. You know what I'm saying? And we all.
Yeah, I forgot you're a tech guy.
Yeah. So. It's just things like in that nature, just like when I say like director of football operation, the other title that I have, it encompasses so much. So it's nothing even just to pat myself on the back of it, but Michaelee knows that it's a lot goes into running a football program.
Oh yeah.
I mean, from uniforms to ordering stuff to apparel to it's just a lot of things, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes me my greatest asset is all that encompasses everything. So I'm just not X's and O's guy. I'm a lot. It's a whole package that comes with it. And I know that my mentor has been very appreciative of having me around.
Right now.
Yeah. So I know that,
They said
and
those
that's what drives me every day. I know my mentor, Coach Tim Harris, is very appreciative of me having me around, as well as my AD and everybody else in the administration and staff at Booker T. Washington.
I got one good question for you. How was it How was your time spent at?
Here we go.
Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes.
I could finish this question for him, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna let him
Right.
ask this
So I'm
question.
gonna ask this question. How was your time spent on 62nd at Miami Edison?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, what was your experience on 62nd?
I'll say this, man. Just being blatantly honest, bro. Like I had never coached anywhere else outside of Booker T. Washington for. At that point, it was 18 years. I had never coached anywhere else. I always told myself, and y'all ever seen, I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna mess with no other style because we got our culture over there, and
Right.
there's all this rigmarole over here and all that. And you know, we was in between a regime shift at Booker T. Washington.
Correct.
I just feel like I couldn't be a part of anymore, and that's no knock on nobody. It's just that it wasn't our standard.
It wasn't
so
you.
I wasn't. That wasn't me. I didn't feel it anymore. So I just felt like I needed to take a step away. When you sitting like you coaching the game, certain things we don't. Like when you coaching the game, you don't hear the stands.
No,
Like,
not at all.
It's like you really like channeled out. In my last game, it's Carroll City game. My last game coaching at Booker T before I left, I heard everything in the stands, and it's like I was just reacting to it too. Like I'm like,
So it took a
that's
toll.
when I know it's time to go.
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's time to go. Like this is it. And when we got back to school, I just told coach, I was like, you got it, boss. You got the juice. I'm out. And I was sitting on the couch. I wasn't coaching anywhere, and I was like, at that time, like, Coach Luther Campbell, he was one of my good friends, and he was like, just come. And I'm like, nah, I don't do that. Like, we were good friends. I was like, nah, I don't do that, bro. And they was like, yeah, just go do it. And I'm like, all right. So I did it. I just went over. I was GM at first. I wasn't even an OC or nothing. I was GM. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like,
You was a Neo. Enio. You was Enio.
yeah, I was flying drones.
Shout out to Enio from New Orleans.
So, I was just sitting there like, I had a good time. But one thing I would say about 62nd Street, I enjoyed coaching every one of those kids, man. Those kids was great kids, bro.
Ashley had a good team.
And I was telling somebody the other day, it's like, man, that team we had at Edison, bro, they really had a good team. We had a good team. And I hated, like, leaving because I like, had a relationship with the kids.
Right.
My only knock with that is I just feel like I miss business with pleasure.
And that's never good.
And it's never good. It always gonna fall out. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just always say, like, I respect Coach Luke as a friend, like, for anything, like, just as an elder guy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But just some people you just can't coach with.
Right.
You know what I'm
And it
saying?
don't make it bad.
It doesn't
just
make it
don't
bad.
mix.
Like, I just wish I never coached there, and then we would probably still be friends, like, whatever. But no bad feelings, no nothing like that. It just wasn't a good match for the both of us.
But you know what? So when I tore my Achilles, that's when I went into coaching at the University of Akron. And then I went to University of Illinois. And then I came to University of Miami. So my first year coaching in high school was with Norland. And because I got that label too, the hothead label, like, he a hothead. But, and I'm tying this in with you going from Booker T to Edison. But when you see what it looked like and what it's supposed to be, you can never unsee that.
Right.
No, once you see it, it's locked in your head.
And it was like a lot of people played at the next levels. A lot of people was taught how to play on the next levels. I was blessed to be taught how to coach on the next level. So when I got to high school, it was like, nah, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And they was just looking like, what do you mean? And often, we're men. And, unfortunately, at times as men, we don't put our egos to the side and our pride to the side, especially in the heat of the moment. In the heat of practice, we got 2 hours, we trying to get it rolling, and a lot of things, you just don't agree with. Like, and other people may have surpassed you in life in other avenues.
Right.
Like I didn't get to play in the NFL, but I was able to coach on the next level. So some people may say it should look like this. because they may have coached on the park or coached a lot of years in high school, and I'm telling them like, look, listen, I know you guys were really good. I know you got state championships, but for these children to get to where we want them to go and it be a easier route, practice structure should look like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a certain schedule we should go about. Different drills should look like this. You know, and that's, you know, just tying it into what you're saying about going from Booker T to Edison, because I got to Norland, and then I went to Northwestern, and in that time, 2018, 2019, you know, the talent level was a huge difference.
And that make a big difference.
That make a big difference. But you get around a lot of coaches, and they're 70, 80, some of them 90% Jimmys and Joes. But coming from college, knowing that we was in the Big Ten at Illinois, you see what I'm saying? And we was on the side with Wisconsin and Stanford and, you know, Iowa and Northwestern, you know, every week is a game. So if you get caught up in Jimmys and Joes, you in trouble. So it was always a clash for me because I'm like, no, bro, it's the play. No, this worked when I had Teddy Bridgewater, bro. We don't have Teddy.
And people really fails to realize how much important it is to go off your personnel than just running the play.
Facts.
Right.
That's what a lot like.
Gotta do that.
Yeah, that worked last year because you had goddamn Teddy, you had Times, you had this player. You ain't got that right now. Yeah. And that's where a lot of coaches come in wrong because, this been working for me so long.
Right.
Bob's been working for long. You think it's correct. But then when you don't have that personnel and you lack it,
right.
that shit can't work. You
Can't
play man no more.
Can't
You
get
need
out there.
You need to get somebody over the top.
Coach,
You ain't
in
got
2019, Coach, we had, listen, I seen, listen,
You ain't got Tim no more. You
Coach,
ain't got Kitchen no more.
Coach, I
You
saw
gotta get
Tim
somebody
Burns.
like
I
that.
talk about this every chance I get. We played Central that year, and I saw Tim Burns jump over the receiver and intercept the dig route.
In the middle of the field.
I never saw that before. And we're playing zero.
No safety. They don't understand that.
So it's like, you know, that's a gamble for real.
It's for real, for real.
And that's why I believe in teaching the way I believe in teaching. Because I'm pretty sure when you left Booker T and you went to Edison, it was like, all right, this the standard. So you bringing me over here, this the standard I come with. Right. You see what I'm saying? This is what 6 championships look like. You see what I'm saying? And you get into a clash because it's like, nah, I don't run my program like that, or I don't run my offense like that, or I don't do things like that. And for me, people think that there is always my way of doing things. I'm an advocate of there's always a successful way of doing things.
Thank you.
And they forget the two.
And they forget the two.
And that's
like my way worked this year.
Right.
The successful way works annually, you know.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. I'm not a stubborn guy. Like, it could be a young guy come in with something innovative. I listen and I incorporate ideas. So it's not like, oh, it's my way or the highway. I think that's what makes us better as leaders or whatever. Because some people just like, oh, this my offense or this my
right,
team.
right.
It can't be like that because
right.
if not, then what are those dudes that you have around you? Are you valuing them? Because if you're not valuing them, they're just there. And if they're just there, you're not making them better.
That part,
you're not showing them appreciation. They're not being a part. So morale goes down. A lot of things go down. But, you know, to be successful, those people are important.
Right.
Your assistants, your coaching staff, they're important.
If you don't listen to the people around you.
Right.
And that's what they taught me in college too. If you're the head coach, you should be growing your coordinators.
Yeah.
If you're a coordinator, you should be growing your position coaches.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, they wanted me to be a hothead so bad. To God be the glory. You know, if you was able to follow my story, you won't bet on me being the head coach at Miami Northwestern. You won't bet on that. But you know, that's what it is. Grow people that's around you. You know?
I agree.
Good talk, man. So we got to get out of here, man. In closing, man, good talk, man. Appreciate that Mike coming through, man. Spending that time. Same thing with Bean, man. Hey, in closing, Coach Luke here.
Coach Lee.
Coach Torian Bean.
And Twan.
The porter, the man behind the plan. But we're going to get out of here, man. Kickoff Classic this weekend, jumping off, man. Thursday against Chaminade in the West. And then the game of the week, Booker T.
And American Heritage.
Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our page, man, the Portal Media Group. And on Facebook, the South Florida High School Transfer Portal. We got to dummy that shit down.
Hey, I just want y'all to know I am not going to approve that request.
Mike, we need you in there, Mike.
I don't want none of that. Hey, football trash talk is enough.
Hey, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all time. We out of here to the next one, baby.
See you next week, baby.
Yo.